Hello and welcome. This is Rashim, the Be More Catalyst of Be More LLC, here to bring you high quality content to help you do more, serve more, and be more. Today, we're going to be talking about fiscal sponsorship with the Linda Murray. I'm going to bring her on in just a few seconds. But before I do that, let me tell you about this fantastic woman. I met her through another event where she was, talking about ways to make yourself more Googleable. And she's going to share with us how we could get some fiscal sponsorships. If you want to start a nonprofit, you just don't have the resources yet, and you don't have the 501c3 status yet, but you want to get the money right now so that you can start building on that. She's going to give us some tips, tools, and resources on very much how to do that. She's also a TEDx speaker. So you can ask her a little bit about that, and she'll probably share some of that. And you know how I am. I'm not really into long, drawn-out, boring bios, but I do want you to get to know her. So I'm going to ask her some very specific questions that I think is going to help us get to know her a little bit better than her bio would. So thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Linda. How are you?
Hi. How are you? Hello, Be More guest. Hello, how are you all?
So thank you again for agreeing to share some of your wisdom and knowledge. Last time I saw Linda, we were at a Steve Harvey conference, and Linda was on stage with Steve Harvey at the last time I saw her. So it's good to be able to see you again, even if it is just virtually.
Hey, it's good to be seen. I tell you, it's good to see you as well. You're doing great things. I'm watching you.
Thank you. Well, I try, So one of the things I like to ask people about is, what is your Be More movement? And your Be More movement breaks down into three parts. That's your being, who you are at your core, who you be in the world. And then your more, your dreams, aspirations, desires. What's the transformation you want to make in the world? And then what is your movement? What are those actions that you take that you're committed to getting you from where you are to where you want to be?
Okay, so my be, who I am in essence is I am a mover. I'm a shaker. I am the person that connects people to their next level because I'm an inspiration. So my being is about connecting others. My more, the more of me, the things that I do in life is I am an elevator. I am the person that helps move other people up. So my goals in life, my dreams in life is to elevate the mind, states, and well-being of others. And so I do that whether it's in business, whether it's in their personal lives, or whether it's in their dreams. I help people to see themselves in a higher state. Where I'm going myself is I've learned that when you elevate others, you also elevate yourself. They say it's lonely at the top, but it's only lonely when you go by yourself. So by lifting others up, I have a whole troop going with me. I plan to take people with me.
I know that's right. I love what you said about taking people with you. One of my favorite African proverbs, and if people have seen me anywhere or any type of video, you probably heard this already, but I love saying it because I feel like it is so true and it resonates with me. And that is, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far,
yes,
go together. I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I absolutely agree with that. So tell us something else about you that we can't find on your bio.
So the thing you can't find about me on my bio is I'm a giver. I give, and I give unselfishly. So I try to make sure that the people around me feel more special than myself. Like, people call me and invite me over and like having me around simply because I like them to feel special when I'm in their presence. And that's what I do, is people tell me I have a beam of light, and I like letting that light shine in other people.
I love that. I think that's something that's going to resonate with a lot of the people that's listening live, and also other people that are going to be watching the replay, is they are givers, right? Like, that's how I know, that's one of the reasons that aspects of you that resonated so much with me is, like, I know that she is like kinfolk. I know that she is part of the community of people who are giving, people who are helping, people who want to see other people grow. So That's absolutely one of the main reasons that I wanted to make sure that I had you here to share so much information. So we're going to talk about, again, you're going to share with us aspects of fiscal sponsorship. So if you are there, you know how I like to do. I always tell you, get your handy paper, get your pen, because I am very studious. I take notes. I'm very much a student. So don't let anything go on deaf ears. Make sure that if Linda gives you a great takeaway or give you some insight or some information that you didn't think of, make sure that you write it down and buckle in, because I know she's going to give us a lot of juicy nuggets. Before you even get into the juicy nuggets, there's two things I want to let everyone know. She has a very special gift that she's going to give away to everyone for free. She's going to tell you exactly how to get that. So stay tuned in to the end. As well, I'm going to be giving out a freebie as well. So make sure that you stay tuned to the end so that we can show you how to redeem and claim that. Linda, tell us a little bit about how you got introduced to fiscal sponsorship. What is fiscal sponsorship? Why is it important?
Okay, so fiscal sponsorship is, I'm a for-profit, right? So I have these visions and these dreams of impacting the world. I am a for-profit business that still, I'm a giver. But if you're a for-profit business, you cannot give and stay in for-profit. That's just not, they don't go together, okay? So what I have to do, anytime I'm trying to do my corporate responsibility, then I have to find a nonprofit that, so that the people who help me meet those goals and help the community, they have community impact, that they can do that and still get the same benefits that they would if I was a profit. And so a fiscal sponsorship is a way of doing that without having a 501c3. It's a partnership, and it can be short-term, medium, or long-term. You get to decide, but it helps people either if you're a new startup, a nonprofit, or if you're like me, a for-profit, help us to still have community impact. And before we get through all the 501c3 and all those guidelines. So it's a short-term way of getting on your feet and to still have community impact. And in some aspects, to test your dreams of helping your community.
Fantastic. So tell us exactly what it is. You tell us a bit about what it does. It can help you get started, help you on your way. What is
it's an agreement. It's an agreement between me and an existing nonprofit. We have a contract, and that contract spells out our responsibilities. So that contract verbatim, I'm going to go under their umbrella, and I'm going to agree to follow their mission statement, and I'm just another arm of them. So they will be, in turn, we swap, and I report to them outside of their scope, and they will oversee me. They will make sure that what I'm doing is worthy of being a nonprofit venture, and also that my finances are in order, and that if the IRS should come in and audit, that everything will still be on point. So they're actually like my big brother, and they're saying that everything you're doing is worthy of nonprofit. If IRS was to come in, it still warrants nonprofit, and everything that I do still warrants those people getting their donations tax-free, and everything that I do it still falls in the guidelines of me giving the benefit and helping the community and all the impact. And so I go under their umbrella, and they just oversee me.
I love it. No, that's really, I love the definition. I love the example that you gave in terms of saying how they're kind of like a big brother, because I think that is that's absolutely a really good way of putting it. Another way to put it for everyone listening is fiscal sponsorships. When you want to go for grant funding, you can't, and you may not be able to get grant funding because you're not a nonprofit organization quite yet, right? So let's say you're new and emerging and you have this fantastic idea. One of the great things about fiscal sponsorship is it allows you and gives you opportunity to, one, not only go for grant fundings because you're seen as a under another nonprofit, but it also allows you to test your programming, to do a pilot test and to apply, of course, for the grant funding. Tell us, what are the steps to go about fiscal sponsorship? Like how, if I'm a new and emerging nonprofit and I need fiscal sponsorship to get started because I don't have the 501c3 status yet, how do I get fiscal sponsorship?
Well, in my case, there's actually a fiscal sponsor directory online that you can go to. But what I did is I find local 501c3s and we have conversations. And so in both of the situations that I've been in, this is my second one actually. Right now, I have a fiscal sponsorship with Father to the Fatherless. So it depends on what type of program I'm doing. Right now, I'm doing a project for teen boys, and their single mothers. So I found a nonprofit, which is called Father to the Fatherless, and they are my fiscal sponsor for this venture. Previously, I got under the of 22-6, and it was a Teen Mothers Foundation, which I was doing a Teen Mothers project at the time. So you try to find somebody who already has the same mission that you're on that fits within your project. And that's one thing you want to look for when you're looking for a fiscal sponsor. You need to make sure that your project fits under what they're doing, because you want to stay inside the scope of what they're doing. And that works both ways.
Absolutely. One of the things that really resonated with me about what you just said is not just going out to anybody to try to get a fiscal sponsorship, making sure that your vision and mission are aligned with that of that organization. So if you want to start a youth development program, or if you want to start something about Save the Whales, you're not going to get a fiscal sponsorship from a tuna company. So one of the right. So one of the things is first identify organizations that have similarity. And Linda, you talked a bit about fiscal sponsorship directory. Do you have a link for that, or how would a person find out, be able to go to a fiscal sponsorship directory and see if they can connect with the organization?
Yeah, that is actually, they can Google it, which is what I did to see if it was in existence. And it's there's one in several states, so it depends on where you're located. So you want to go out and look for the ones that are in your area. But like I said, but they're in your community. There's several nonprofits. I mean, you can go to here in Chattanooga, which is where I am. We have the Centers for Nonprofits, which is under the heading of the United Way agency in your area. Go to them and ask them for the Centers of Nonprofits, and they can help you find any that do fiscal sponsorship. The other side of that, if you are an existing nonprofit, that's an excellent way to gain revenue. And I don't know if I'm stepping ahead or not, but that's another revenue stream for you, because you pay a percentage of what your take is to the nonprofit to be your fiscal sponsor. So there's some cost that you incur for that exchange. So it's a win-win relationship. It's actually good for both parties.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about, and I just put up my Facebook Live, so people from Facebook Live, if you are on right now, we are still on currently right now. We're just on Google Hangout. So if you go and check out the link, you'll be able to,
I was doing the same.
You'll be able to go to the site and ask some questions live if you have questions, or if you want, you could type them in the space below from the video that you're watching. And I'm speaking with Linda Murray, and she's giving us tips, tools, and resources on fiscal sponsorships. Also, not only if you have a question, can you type it live right now in the Facebook, and you can go and watch it live, because I probably won't be recording the entire thing on Facebook Live, but it is recorded live. If you go to my Facebook page, there's a link there. Also, Linda is going to be giving away a free resource at the end. Hi, Horace. Hi, Donovan. So Linda's going to be giving away a free resource at the end. So if you stay till the end, you'll be able to get access to that. And I'm going to be giving away some freebies as well around nonprofit development. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and keep asking her a few more questions, and we're going to get as many tips, tools, and resources as we can to help you in the development of your new and emerging nonprofit. For those of you who are just tuning in, she shared a little bit about why is fiscal sponsorship important, how to go about getting a fiscal sponsorship, ways of either looking under a fiscal sponsorship directory or connecting with other organizations. And she stressed the importance of connecting with organizations that have similar vision, mission, and goals as you do, as one of the key focuses for organizations that you want to focus on. So one of the questions I want to ask you at this point, Linda, is sometimes when people are starting out, we really don't know. Sometimes we know what to do, but not exactly how to do it. And so that leads us to making a lot of mistakes. Even the smartest people make a lot of mistakes. Can you tell us what are the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when they go for fiscal sponsorships, and how can we avoid those?
Well, we talked about one of them, and one of them is they partner up with an agency that does not share their mission. So they just partner up with anybody. And that's the thing that you don't want to do, because what you have to find is not just anyone to be your fiscal sponsor just because they're out there. And they could have very good vision and mission. However, what happens is after you are with them, you want to be able to walk away from that relationship stronger. And so if you're new, and here's an example. In 2014, I partnered with 22-6, which comes from Proverbs 22-6. We did a Teen Moms conference called I Believe. After that, this was a kickoff for her. So after that, she ran that facility, that unit for 1 year. This year, people throwing funding at her because we kicked it off, got the attention. I became her prototype. Everybody saw that, I was a former teen mom. I had wrote a book. My book is in the Library of Congress. And I became what their investment could offer. And so from that, dating and spending time, and she spent a year working very hard and building up her credibility. And then this year she's getting donations from high school reunions. She's getting one of the Causeway. She was one of their selections, and she's doing very well this year because of walking away from that event to do that 1 year by herself, and then to do this year to get all that funding. That's ideal. That's what you want. So don't just partner with anyone. Make sure you know who they are. Make sure they are actionable. That's very good too, because you have to make sure it's not just a pass through. It's illegal for you just to join somebody, just to be with them for that short time, just to have their name on you for that event. So that's illegal. So make sure it's credible. Credibility is everything. A lot of times people just do it just for that one event and then they walk away and then that's it. You have to make sure that they're credible. Make sure they have a history before you get to them. Credible history. And do the backstory. Do your due diligence. Make sure that you spent time and learn about the good and the bad, because people will let you see what they want you to see, but dig deeper, because this is your reputation that you're putting out there. And make sure that the money is legit. Follow the financing. Make sure you dig deep on those reports. I'm under this credibility. I have a person that, I'm reporting to for this event we're doing, and she doesn't have to ask for the reporting. I send her the reporting, and I send it on time to let her know every dollar, every dime. And it's not, like I said, she's my big brother, but I make sure she doesn't have to ask for information. I am flooding her with information. So you have to make sure that as the little brother, that you're putting the information out there and that you have total transparency. Reputation is at stake, and mine is as well. And I want to make sure that our investors know, the people who are trusting us with their donations, I want to make sure they can trust us. So if we do something else, the people who are donating this time know I did well on the other. They're sure that every dollar, every dime is going to what I said it is. Those 3 things.
No, that's definitely huge. I think one of the things that I really got out of what you said is you talked about looking into not only the vision and the mission of the organization, checking their credibility, looking at the history, and following their reports. And then also what I got from that is you talked about how to be a good not just how to find a good fiscal sponsor, but how to be a good fiscal sponsee, if that's a word.
Right. You have to be a good steward yourself. Right.
Right. So the reporting is crucial, of course, in that. And I'm sure
Definitely.
documentation is really huge in that.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And you have to, if you don't have, like in my case, I'm small, I'm one person. And the most I have is me and a girlfriend who I keep pulling along with me as my volunteer coordinator on everything I do. And it's because she's good, right? I don't have a financial person to follow me around. I mean, I'm in a master's program. I know numbers. So I do my own numbers because for these events, they're not, I mean, they're $1,000. They're not very big, but you have to make sure. And if you're not good with numbers, you need to make sure you have a numbers person on board that can follow the numbers, because that is crucial. Like that is crucial. You want to make sure you have accountability on every dime, every dollar.
No, that's really good. So for people who are just tuning in, we're talking about fiscal sponsorships and all of the reasons that that's really good. It's so helpful for if you are a new and emerging nonprofit, or maybe you have an idea for a nonprofit and you don't quite have your 501c3 status just yet. You can apply for grant funding through fiscal sponsorship, even if you're not currently a 501c3. Linda shared with us earlier different ways in terms of how to get fiscal sponsorship. So let's say if I have an idea, but I don't have the IRS tax standing of 501c3 status, I could kind of test and pilot that idea. I could partner with a local church or a local organization who cares a lot about the same issue that I do. They have a 501c3 status. I develop my program and then how the fiscal sponsorship works is when you do get donations, that money is kind of ushered through their system and ushered through their process.
Yes.
How they do regulation. So that's a way to be able to get your some of your grant funding, and you don't have a 501c3 status yet. It also
right. And
credibility in the community. Go ahead, Linda.
Right, and actually they work as the back end, the back office part. So what it lets you, it allows you, frees you up to work on the mission. And it frees you up. They do the back end, like they do the administration part, they do the finance part, they do all the back end things, and then you can concentrate on going out and finding your investors, because that's what they don't do. They won't find your investors. You have to do that. You know, that partnership that says once you get the money, they'll help, you know, record it and do all the back end stuff. But you have to still find your investors. You have to still complete all your applications. Now, they will do consultants with you and even education in some respect. But you still have to do the grunt work. That grunt work is still yours.
I'm loving that you mentioned that as well, because it speaks a lot to the shared responsibility. When you get into a fiscal sponsorship, it's really partnering for a cause and partnering so that you can get the revenue for a similar mission. So in identifying what is your responsibility?
Right, exactly. And that's where the contract comes in. That's why you have a contract that spells out verbatim. My role in this relationship is this, and your role is that. And so you spell that out up front, and you agree to that up front. No misunderstanding and no bad relationship or bad blood in the relationship. Everyone knows their role and everyone works accordingly.
Fantastic. And part of that relationship in those contracts is going to spell out the reporting. It's going to spell out the documentation that you're going to need. It's
everything
that you do need to find your own investors, and that the part that they handle is they're processing the paperwork, they're processing the funding, and there's more than likely going to be somewhat of a fee attached to them processing it. I haven't heard of anyone taking more than like 8%.
10% is the normal, but if you're doing like governmental things, that can run higher because there's more paperwork. So if you're doing governmental contracting, or if you're doing something of higher nature, then that amount can go up. It just depends on how much. Like I said, I'm doing a very small, I mean, mine is a few $1,000s. It's nothing like, several thousands of dollars. So the paperwork is not as intense.
Mm-hmm. So I want to say too, before I let you go, and before you tell us about the freebie that you have for us and let everyone know how to get it, what are some of your final thoughts on what is something that you want to make sure that everyone knows about fiscal sponsorship?
I want them to know that it's possible that if you're sitting on a desire to help the community, you can do it. It's doable. It's just finding a partner who's strong enough to go beside you, to be your guide, to help you do it, as far as giving you the backbone, the back end work, to help you, to guide you through that. If you already have that dream in your heart, there are, and this goes into my freebie for this audience. I actually have a nonprofit guidebook that walks you step by step in setting up the nonprofit, that to anyone that joins the site. But you can actually get in your community, there are people that have the same vision, the same mission, because if it's a problem in your area that you've identified, you're not the only one that sees that problem, and you're not the only one trying to find that solution. And so together we work better. Collaborations are the new business network. That's how you do it. Team up with other people in your area that has that same passion, that same drive, and make it happen.
Tell us, thank you so much for that. Tell us, how can people access that nonprofit guidebook? What is that link?
That link is, excuse me, I was giving you the email address. that link is getthebusiness.org. So that's HTTP, / whatever that is. And then getthebusiness.org is how they get it. You sign up on the website, I get your email address, and I'll send you that nonprofit guidebook that will help you get your nonprofit on point.
All right, so that sounded like it was Get the Business, and let me make sure I have this right. GETTHEBUSINESS.org.
You're correct.
All right, so you guys know where you could go and get your free guidebook on starting your nonprofit. Now tell us, how can we connect with you? How can we get more information from you, learn from you, grow from you more? And then after you tell that, I'm going to let everyone know what my freebie is.
Okay, so to contact me, I'm on Facebook. I'm on the LSMB Business Solutions on Facebook. I'm on all the social media platforms, either by Linda Murray Bullard or by LSMB Biz on Twitter, or LSMB Business Solutions on Facebook. So reach out to me, I'll reach back.
I like that. All right, so thank you guys for everyone who's watching right now. If you came on later and if you started earlier and you stayed to the end, I have a lot of freebies, and I'm just picking out one that I'm going to give away right now. And the one that I'm going to give away right now is the 4 weeks of live nonprofit training. So that means,
wow,
yeah, that's like insane.
That's like awesome. That is like, woo.
Live nonprofit training. I see one of the students from that course is already in here. So we've already had our first week, but once you sign up for the class, you'll get access to that one replay, and then you'll get notification of the next live class. So in that class, you get homework assignments, you ask questions in real time, you get things that you get to take away with you. And the way to go and redeem that is all the W's, BeMoreLLC.com/real-live. That's BeMoreLLC.com/REALLIVE. And you'll be able to sign up for the 4-week free nonprofit training. That's my giveaway for today. Any more final thoughts before I let you go? And thank you again for spending this time with us.
No, I just thank you for this opportunity to talk to your guests here. I just thank you. And hey, I hope they jump in and get fiscal sponsorships, and let's do some corporate, some community services, and get some people's lives to be better.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, thank you very much for everyone who stayed on and who are listening right now. Thank you for choosing to listen to Be More LLC. I know you have several choices, so I don't take it lightly that you chose to spend this time with me today. And until next time, continue to do more, serve more, and be more.
Good night.